Everyone, how are you? Hope you're all doing really well and keeping healthy. Things are looking much more positive with the lockdown now, so hopefully things can start to get back to normal. Okay, so today's recipe is something that I have been craving for a very long time, but so I don't know if you're familiar with Gregg's bakery. I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar. So I used to love buying Gregg's cheese and onion pasties. But since the lockdown, it's been about 10 weeks since all shops have been closed and Gregg's has been closed as well. And I'm really craving a cheese and onion pasty. So I thought of making one and showing you how to make them as well. They're so simple, so easy, and actually so much more cost effective as well. And with homemade pasties, you know what you're putting inside them, and they're much more nutritious and healthy. So a shortcut to making pasties is just to buy ready-made puff pastry, which you can buy from any supermarket, any kind of brand. You can buy from Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, or even your local small supermarkets. And in fact, some people who don't eat halal, these are vegetarian and they don't even contain any alcohol. The branded ready to roll puff pastry, they do contain alcohol. The supermarket's own brands, most of them don't. So the Asda and Tesco, I know 100% don't contain alcohol. So these are safe to use, safe to eat. Yeah, so this is really it. This is all you need. If you are going to make puff pastry from home, it's probably going to take you the whole day, and you have to be an expert. I'm certainly not, and I don't have the time either. Right, so that's a shortcut, very simple and easy. And then I've got some potato that I've boiled, and I've kept the skin on, because the good thing about homemade food is that you can add as much as possible nutrition as you can in it. And with the potato, I think the skin is the main kind of source of vitamins and nutrition. The rest of the inside of the potato is really just a comfort kind of food, a comfort flesh. And then we've got some mozzarella cheese. You can use any kind of cheese. You know, you can even improvise and use feta cheese, halloumi cheese, any kind of cheese. You don't have to stick to the recipe. You can think out of the box and choose anything. So because this is a cheese and onion pasty, of course you have to have an onion. You can use white onion, red onion, or a combination of both. So this is just a very small, simple idea of how to make a cheese and onion pasty. If you want to, you can transfer this into a vegetable pasty or a meat pasty if you're not a vegetarian, if you are a non-veg. Right, so we're going to start off. So I'm going to get a big bowl, and first of all I am going to transfer the boiled potato in the big bowl, and I'm going to mash this up until it's all nice and soft. So I've just simply got a fork, and I'm just very simply just mashing it up. You don't have to make them very fine. It doesn't have to be completely mush. You can have some, like, you know, sorry, that's my washing machine. You can have some big chunks of potato. In fact, the big chunks of potato give a nice kind of bite. So potato is one of the vital ingredients when you're making puff pastry, because it kind of combines all the ingredients together. Okay. Right, now this is about 2 potatoes, but I'm going to take half of this out because I only need 1 for this recipe. Right, and I'm going to use the other half for something else I'm planning to make later on. Right, so if you're thinking that looks really odd to see the skin with the potato, you won't even be able to see this once it's in the pasty. You won't even be able to tell, but actually it's going to give a very nice taste, almost like a roasted kind of taste. So yeah, a nutty roast kind of taste. Right, and in here we're going to add in the grated cheese. You don't have grated cheese, you can grate your cheese. This is so simple and so easy to make that, you know, for me, I just find it so convenient to make, especially if you want to have something that's like a comfort food, but also not too unhealthy. Right, I've put the oven on already. So it's preheating. Right, so I'm gonna get the onion. So make sure you keep your oven on. Because with puff pastry, once you take it out of the fridge, if it becomes too soft, then it's not going to form into those puffy layers. So you've got to make sure that it instantly kind of goes in the oven. So from fridge to oven. So I'll just keep this out for a few minutes here. A few minutes won't do much harm, but any longer and it could deform. and become flat. And the last thing you want to do with puff pastry is kind of reassemble it or remold it. Alright, so try and really finely cut the onions. In fact, I'm going to get my magic weapon, which is my hand grater. See, this one is chipped from the sides because I've used it so much. But go, that's perfect and absolutely effortless. And that goes, the onions go into here as well. So far we've got mashed potato with the skin on, some grated mozzarella, cheese and some onions. Really, that's it, that's all you need. But of course I'm going to add some spices. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt, not too much because we've got the cheese in here as well. That's got salt, oh well, that's quite high in sodium. So about half a spoon of salt. And then also I'm going to add in half a spoon of pepper. And because my family and I, we kind of like a bit of a kick in our food, I'm going to add a little bit of chili sauce. And the chili sauce I'm going to use, just trying to find it. Yeah, the chili sauce I'm going to use actually is sriracha. Sriracha is like a Chinese Asian kind of sauce, and this just gives it a really nice taste. So there we go. That will be about a spoonful of sriracha sauce, and then I'm going to just give this all a nice mix. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you can add some extra vegetables or meat if you like. Minced meat goes really well with this. If you're a vegetarian, you can add some corn. We've done a corn recipe before, so you kind of have an idea what corn looks like and how it's going to act. But this is kind of the basic of any kind of pasty that you would make. And it will just make it so tasty and easy. Alright, make sure you give this all a nice mix because you want the cheese to evenly coat over the potatoes and the onions, so everything kind of sticks together. Okay, perfect. Let's put this one aside, and now I'm going to unroll the puff pastry. So nicely wrapped. Okay. So here's what I mean. If you leave it out for too long, it's going to become so soft that it's going to stick to the paper and deform. And if you don't leave it out for long enough, like you need to leave it out at least for 2 minutes, it'll be so hard that when you're rolling it, it's going to kind of crack from the sides. So this is like just perfect. See what I mean? Just here. So this probably needed maybe about 2-3 more minutes, but that's fine. I would just put my hands together and pretend like I'm stitching this back together. That'll be fine. We will manage. Okay, I'm just going to do half of this right now anyway. So I'm going to get my pizza cutter. And you can do them any size you like. You can do them big, small. I'll show you about two of the sizes that I'm going to do. So one is going to be this size. So it's going to fold up. It's going to be like that. And then I'll do two small ones, two mini ones. Get my mixture. Just add my mixture there. Open the other light. Some extra lighting. Hopefully that's better. So get a slight mixture there. Yep. Put it in the middle. And then simply, I'm just going to fold this. Just going to press it down for now. But in a minute, I'm going to get the fork and just make a nice design. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with these small tiny ones here. Okay. And again, fold this from the sides. Just patching it down right now. Okay. And now I'm going to get my oven tray. And do the rest on there. Our kitchen's very tiny, so I'm kind of always playing around. Okay, so I've got my silicone mat which I put on the oven tray, and I'm going to now just press the pasties on the sides just to make a little small design, make them look like the shop brought, so I can just imagine that I'm standing outside the bakery eating a fresh Gregg's cheese and onion pasty. I just need that feeling, to be honest. But in fact, this one's going to taste even better. Just make sure it's properly sealed from the sides. Okay. Now, before you put this in the oven, you need to give them a slight coat with either an egg wash or milk. I'm going to be using milk in here right now. And also, this is not necessary, but it will just make sure it will cook. If you're doing a meat pasty, then it's really important that you do a slight little cut in the middle of the pasties, and what that helps is release all the steam from inside, and then it helps kind of all the pasties to cook from inside. Otherwise, what you'll get lots of heat generating inside the pasty, and all of a sudden there'll be like a burst from the sides, and you don't want that. So if you leave one of these little slits in the middle, then you'll be able to release some of the steam, and they will cook thoroughly inside as well. Right, I've got some milk wash here, and I'm just going to give them a slight little coat, and these are going to be ready to go in the oven. And this is how simple it is. Now if you want, at this point you can put these in the freezer and save these for a rainy day. So if you are going to freeze them, make sure you freeze them now. Not after they come out of the oven, not after after you put them in the oven, right? And they will freeze again, and they'll be perfect. What you'll just need to do is keep them on low heat when you put them in the oven, so make sure that they cook from inside first before they get golden and crispy. Right, this is going to go in the oven on 200 degrees for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to put that in the oven now. While they're in the oven, we're going to do like a side kind of salad to go with this, and I'm going to be doing a homemade coleslaw. So now for the coleslaw, all I'm using is some cabbage and a carrot. If you want, you can add some onions, you can add cheese, you can add rocket leaves, you can add anything you like, but the basics of a coleslaw is cabbage and a carrot. So I'm going to show you a very simple way of making homemade coleslaw. And again, cabbage contains a lot of vitamin C, very good for you, especially in the summer. If you don't get that much sun, it contains a lot of vitamin D, and peppers as well. If you do have peppers, do add peppers. Peppers have a lot of vitamin D in them, and I think in this weather it's really important. In the winter it's really important that we get lots of vitamin D, as we're already limited with the amount of sunlight that we're exposed to. And even now, actually, because of the lockdown, we're not really out and about that much. Right? So it's really important that you really finely cut the cabbage. Unless you want a thick kind of cabbage. But again, that's your choice. Watch your fingers. Cabbage really expands when you cut it, so I did get this size bowl, but I think I need a bigger bowl. So Right. In goes the cabbage. Okay. Excuse my mess. Now normally for the carrot I'll get the grater and grate the carrot, but I just want to show you another technique which you probably already know anyway, but in the coleslaw it just looks so much more nicer. So here's a peeler and I'm just going to peel some strands of the carrot, and they come out to be so nice and crispy. And if you ever want to make carrot crisps, then you can't get carrot more thinner than this, and you just stick this in the oven and you'll come out with these delicious crispy carrot strands, and they're so nice, and you can just sprinkle some seasoning on them. And instead of, you know, nibbling on crisps while you're watching a movie or something, you can just nibble on these and they're so tasty. So in fact I'll show you this another day. This is unfortunately the last carrot I've got in my fridge today, so ran out of my shop, so I can't do any carrot crisps. But I think in the class we made some parsnip crisps in a very similar way, and they also came out to be really, really tasty. Only thing is you need to make a big quantity because they go really, really quick. Alright, so can you see how lovely and thin? And in fact, if I hold one, they're almost transparent. That's how thin they are. Right, the last bit is a little bit longing it and you kind of get tired. But if you have a kid, if you have a toddler, you can just pass them this and they will nibble it down. Get lots of vitamin C as well, good for the eyes. Right, or you can just, you know, eat it yourself on the go. Right, cut some long thin strands. Whoopsie daisy. That's it, that's done really, really well. Coleslaw in my house goes really, really well with everything. Even with Asian curries, we love having coleslaw. Right, there we go. Let's add in the carrots. Now usually in a typical coleslaw you would have just mayonnaise, but in here I'm going to add in some yogurt. Right, so I've got 2 spoons of yogurt in here, and now I'm going to add in about 1 spoon of mayonnaise. So the idea is to have less of the fatty kind of mayonnaise and more healthy yogurt in your coleslaw. And again we need our spices, so just a little bit of pepper, a 1/4 spoon of pepper, and a 1/4 spoon of salt, sorry. And also you do need a little bit of sugar in your coleslaw. If you want to add sweetener, you can add sweetener, but I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to add a little bit of sweetener in here. The reason being is just to balance out, sugar kind of balances out the sweetness between the carrots and the mayo. It kind of balances out all the flavours. So that was like a 1/4 spoon of sugar. So you need to have equal amounts of sugar, salt and pepper. So now we're going to give this all a really, really good mix. And this isn't going to be a very saucy coleslaw like you would buy in supermarkets. Sometimes they can be a little bit too heavy and, you know, too fattening. Some people also add cream, double cream in their coleslaw, but for me that kind of defeats the purpose of a salad, because this is more of a salad than a kind of creamy side piece. Right, that looks so lovely and fresh. You can add potatoes in here as well. If you have boiled potatoes, baby potatoes, new baby potatoes, yeah, they're really, really good in coleslaws. There we go, there's our coleslaw done. So now we're just going to wait for our pasty to be done, and then we will be ready to serve. Alright, the pasties are now done. I'm going to take them out of the oven just to show you. So here we go, here's our pasties, lovely and delicious. And if you can hear this, can you hear the crunch and the crisps? So this is what they look like. And what I was telling you about the silicone mats, look, they're literally moving around. I don't even need to worry about them scraping from the bottom. Right, so we are now going to plate up. I'm going to just put this here. Let me get my plate. And I'm going to put the pasties in. So I'll put two of the small, one of the big one. I'll put the two of the small ones. Actually, let's just do one. I'll put one pasty and I'll put the coleslaw on the side. And there we go. Lunch is served, and this is even better than what you would get in Gregg's. Now, if you can see, I've got a small pasty and lots of salad. Now, if you want, on the side here, you can add some jalapenos, you can add some olives, some capers, just to make your dish a bit more interesting, if you like. So I'm going to add some black olives. Not only does it make it be tasty, but also look appealing to the eye as well. It's really, really important to make your food look presentable and look appealing to the eye. So there we go. Here we got some carrots and some olives. And before I finish, I just want to cut the puff pastry just to show you what it looks like inside. Look at that. Oh my god, that looks delicious. So that is what you would get in your Gregg's cheese and onion pasty, but this one is homemade. It's quick, fast, fresh, easy, and you know what's going inside. You know, you don't need to worry about preservatives and extra fats and acids. You know, it's just so convenient. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and do let me know what you think. Alright, take care, bye bye.